अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. I welcome all devotees for morning Bhagavatam class. Okay, all devotees have come. Some devotees are missing. Hare Krishna. So we were discussing last class about Kashyap Muni and Diti. How Kashyap Muni got momentarily affected and Diti's manipulative behavior to kill Indra, asking for a benediction to Kashyap Muni, who promised that I will give you a benediction, being affected by the charming, loving service of Diti, his wife. I hope you remembered. Now, so what Kashyap Muni is going to do? So, Kashyap Muni was deliberating what to do, because he was put in a situation that he will be the cause of death of Indra. So he was very, very fearful, very, very fearful. And he wanted to offer protection to Indra. He wanted to offer protection to himself. He wanted to offer protection to his wife, because he has got unnecessarily affected and wants to kill Indra. So the ultimate protection, Kashyap Muni understood, is by worshipping Vishnu. So what Kashyap Muni deliberated, Sukadeva Goswami writes in Srimad Bhagavatam. That will take the first verse. This is 6th canto, 18th chapter, text 43. All of you please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pratishrutang dadamiti. Anyone? One devotee. Hare Krishna.
Pratishritam dadamiti.
Vachastannamrisha bhavet.
Vachastannamrisha bhavet.
Badham narhati chendropi.
Vadam narhati chendropi.
Tatredam upakalpate.
Tatredam upakalpate.
Pratishrutam dadamiti.
Pratishritam dadamiti.
Vachastannamrisha bhavet.
Vachastannamrisha bhavet.
Badham narhati chendropi.
Vadam narhati chendropi.
Tatredam upakalpate.
Tatredam upakalpate.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. I promised to give her a benediction, and this promise cannot be violated. But Indra does not deserve to be killed. In these circumstances, the solution I have is quite suitable. Kashyap Muni concluded, Diti is eager to have a son who can kill Indra since she is a woman after all and is not very intelligent. I shall train her in such a way that instead of always thinking of how to kill Indra, she will become a Vaishnava, a devotee of Krishna. If she agrees to follow the rules and regulations of the Vaishnava principles, the unclean core of her heart will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. This is the process of devotional service. Anyone can be purified by following the principles of devotional service in Krishna consciousness. For Krishna consciousness is so powerful that it can purify even the dirtiest class of men and transform them into topmost Vaishnavas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement aims at this purpose. Narottam Das Thakur says, Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachisuta Hoila Sei, Balaram Hoila Nitai, Dinahina Jatachila Hariname Udharila, Tar Sakshi Jagai Madhai. The appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga is especially meant to deliver the fallen souls who are always planning something for material enjoyment. He gave the people of this age the advantage of being able to chant the Hare Krishna mantra and thus become fully pure, free from all material contamination. Once one becomes a pure Vaishnava, he transcends all material conceptions of life. Thus, Kashyap Muni tried to transform his wife into a Vaishnavi so that she might give up the idea of killing Indra. He wanted both her and her sons to be purified so they would become fit to become pure Vaishnavas. Of course, a practitioner deviates from the Vaishnava principles, then there is a chance that he may fall down. But Kashyap Muni thought that even if one falls while practicing the Vaishnava principle, he is still not a loser. Even if a fallen Vaishnava is eligible for better results, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even practicing the Vaishnava principles to a small extent can save one from the greatest danger of material existence. Thus, Kashyap Muni planned to instruct his wife to become a Vaishnava because he wanted to save the life of Indra. Hare Krishna, there is some sound somewhere. Please keep muted. Hare Krishna. So we see here how Kashyap Muni desired to offer protection to Indra, to his wife, to himself. And the process he prescribed is the process of worshipping Vishnu. We see in this world actually there is no fear, there is no requirement of any protection. There is no fear in this world, there is no danger in this world. All the dangers, all the fears that we find in this world is all because ultimately of our contamination of our heart. We are so fearful. Why? Because we know that there is someone who can harm us. And that is why spiritual world is called Vaikuntha, because everyone is convinced, or especially those souls whose hearts are completely got purified, they are transported to spiritual world. So there is no fear of anything. Vaikuntha, there is no anxiety, there is no danger, there is no fear. Because by the protection of Vishnu, everyone is fearless. So, in this entire episode, Kashyap Muni is giving the techniques of worshipping Vishnu to Diti, so that Mother Diti can be purified of her contaminations in her heart. So the real protection is offered by purification of the heart. If you really want to be protected in this world, then we need to endeavor to purify our heart through the process of devotional service. We see Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, big time demons. The terrorists of this world have no comparison. They are like LKG students attending the kindergarten kidsy of Hiranyakashipu. That was Hiranyakashipu's power. So Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, all these demons had tremendous power, but they could not offer any protection for themselves. What to speak of offering protection to those whom they want to offer protection, for those who are sheltered to them. Why? Because when your heart is contaminated, Mother Nature practically ensures that you are punished, you are devastated. Daivi esha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. So Krishna has made wonderful facilities. For Krishna, the living entity who is there in material world and the living entity who is there in spiritual world, Krishna makes no distinction. Krishna loves the living entity in material world, Krishna loves the living entity in spiritual world, Krishna loves everyone. The danger in the material world is because of the living entity. Krishna has not created any danger. Sometimes people say that, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukkhalayam asasvatam. This material world is created out of dukkha. It's so much of misery. Why Krishna created out of this material world, Dukkhalayam? But actually Krishna has not created Dukkhalayam. It is our contaminated heart that has made this world Dukkhalayam. How many of you are convinced of what right now I'm saying? Because we so much want to go to spiritual world, but sometimes we forget that we can create spiritual world right here if we simply endeavor to purify our heart. Or Krishna will transport us to spiritual world understanding that all other people in material world cannot be purified. But we need to understand that it is not Krishna who has made the problems in the material world. The tendency is to put everything on the creator. Just like you purchase some product of some company. Let's say you purchase Tata Salt, and then you purchase it, and then when you taste the salt, it is tasting sweet. It's sugar, and it's written Tata Salt. And the tendency is just see Ratan Tata is just useless and he's doing this nonsense, and he has made such a company, and just see what salt is. But what Ratan Tata has done, the person who has packaged it, the person, somehow he made a mistake. So exactly in the same way, whatever we see in this material world, though Krishna is the ultimate creator of this material world, but Krishna is Purnamidam. Krishna is Raso Vaisaha. Krishna is filled with happiness. Anything that comes out from Krishna is also filled with happiness. But the tendency of the material world to give dukkha is not because of Krishna, it is because of the contamination of our hearts. This is a basic understanding that all our devotees must have. Though we may say that the material world is filled with misery, but the misery of the material world is created by our own contaminated hearts. Similarly, Grihastha Ashram. If you read sometimes scriptures can be so violent about Grihastha Ashram. Griham Andhakupam. Hare Krishna. If you read the verse, who says Griham Andhakupam? Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says this to Hiranyakashipu, his father. Oh my dear father, this householder life is Andhakupam, is a dark well, which is Andhakupam, which will blind you. And interestingly, Prahlad Maharaj himself got married. How can someone who say to his own father, I remember I said to my father in 2007, I was studying in IIT, I was in third year, but because of, I don't know which astrologer they consulted in my childhood and what they had, but they had strong fear. And I used to also show some symptoms of vairagya from my childhood. So they were very, very fearful. In 2007, my father caught me one day and my father said, tell me whether you will get married or not. I said, I'm just studying now. Now tell me whether you will get married. I said, I will not get married. I will join the ashram. I'll become a sannyasi. My father got so upset, so angry, and said, why you are telling like this? Why you will do like this? I said, there is no happiness in this. What happiness did you get after marriage? My father, it was like very, very bad. It was really difficult statement to digest. And my father was so angry, he started shouting on my mother, just see what type of son has come, this and that. And my mother came out of the kitchen and my mother said, he's telling the right thing. What happiness this marriage life can give us, and what happiness did we get, both of us? It's telling the right thing. And my father became so angry, he left the house. And Hare Krishna. Now, Grihastha Ashram is Andhakupam for whom? For Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad Maharaj is telling the statement to Hiranyakashipu, because of your contaminated heart, this Grihastha ashram is Andhakupam. Now, a very interesting story from Ramayana. Lord Ram reaches Chitrakoot. So when Lord Ram reaches Chitrakoot, Lord Ram says to Mother Sita Devi, this place of Chitrakoot hill, the in charge of this place is Lord Shiva. And since we are coming to this Chitrakoot hill to reside here, we need to take his permission. All of us, those who went to Chitrakoot, you remember? We went to one Lord Shiva's temple, a little bit of on the hillock. We have to climb the steps up. I don't know, forgot the name of Lord Shiva, Naga, some in the name of Naga, Nagavendra Swami or something like that. Yes, I don't know, anyone remembers? So Lord Ramachandra went to visit Lord Shiva to take permission. And then Lord Shiva gives darshan in the form of a Brahmana to Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ram asks that I have come to your place. Like if I come to Udit Prabhu's place in Bangalore, so first thing I'll ask which room I would stay, where I would stay, in the drawing hall, in the room, in the where. So Udit Prabhu would say, this is the room. So, because it is his house. In the same mood, Lord Ram asked Lord Shiva that where do I stay? Lord Shiva caught up his tongue and started moving and roaming all the places as an answer to Lord Ram. Now, Mother Sita could not understand what is the meaning of the answer. And then Lord Ram said to Sita Devi that let's move, we have got the answer and the permission. While on the way, Mother Sita asks Lord Ram, I could not understand what was the answer. Then Lord Ram said, Lord Shiva replied that if your senses are under your control, all the senses, the jihva and all the five senses are under your control, then wherever you stay in Chitrakoot, you'll always be peaceful. And if your senses are not in control, your heart is not controlled, your mind is not controlled, your mind is contaminated, wherever you stay in Chitrakoot, you'll be unhappy and miserable. So in this way, misery is not because of being present in material world, of not because that we have got married, not because we have become sannyasi or brahmachari, not because I have got some health issues, not because I have got a job which is less paying, not because I didn't have a house. Misery in this world is all because of the contamination of our heart. And if our heart is purified of all contamination, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, Prabodhananda Saraswati speaks, Vishwam Purna Sukhayate, the entire world becomes Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate, filled with happiness. And that is the power of devotional service that Kashyap Muni offered to Mother Diti. When her heart is purified, one astrologer predicted when he read the charts of Srila Prabhupada, he said that this boy will become a man and he will have the power to make the whole world rest in peace. Yes, do you know this? This is what An astrologer in the childhood predicted about Srila Prabhupada that this man has the power to keep the entire world in peace. And this is the power of devotional service. Srila Prabhupada made Americans and Russians catch their hands and dance together, forgetting the Cold War. Srila Prabhupada got Indians and Pakistanis to catch hands together and dance and forget everything. All the nations, everyone just connected by the movement of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada writes in this purport. That is the power of Lord Chaitanya. Dina hina jata chilo hariname udharilo tar sakshi jagai madhai. So real liberation is actually not liberation from the material world. Even if we get liberated from material world right now, let's say right now, we transport Sri Nitai Das to Vrindavan Dham right now. Let's say hypothetical statement. What Sri Nitai Das is going to do? If Sri Nitai Das's heart is contaminated, the place of Vrindavan will have no meaning. And Sri Nitai Das would be looking around, oh, how to enjoy Sri Vrindavan Dham. So it's not the place, going to a place makes us liberated. It is our disposition of our heart. And the power of devotional service, it purifies our heart. So Kashyap Muni advised Diti to do this for 1 year, 1 full year. And then Diti faithfully asks, what I have to do, what I do not have to do. And the first thing Kashyap Muni said to Diti is this verse. The process of devotional service, the first, the sutra of doing bhakti to Krishna is what is this verse. This is 47. Sri Kashyapa Uvacha Na himsyad bhuta jatani Na sapet nanritam vadet Na chindyan nakharo mani Na sprished yad amangalam. Kashyap Muni said, my dear wife, to follow this vow, do not be violent or cause harm to anyone. Do not curse anyone. Do not speak lies. Do not cut your nails and hairs, and do not touch impure things like skulls and bones. Purport. Kashyap Muni's first instruction to his wife was not to be envious. The general tendency of anyone within this material world is to be envious, and therefore to become a Krishna conscious person, one must curb this tendency, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Paramo Nirmat Saranam. A Krishna conscious person is always non-envious, whereas others are always envious. Thus, Kashyap Muni's instruction that his wife not be envious indicates that this is the first stage of advancement in Krishna consciousness. Kashyap Muni desired to train his wife to be a Krishna conscious person, for this would suffice to protect both her and Indra. Yeah. So, do not be envious. Do not harm others. This is one of the most, yesterday we were discussing with Santanu Prabhu, and we were discussing how out of all the 4 regulative principles of illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, and meat eating, the most dangerous and the most horrible is actually meat eating, because it involves himsa, to jivas. And it is very, very difficult to get rid of the sins accumulated by committing himsa, violence to other living entities. So Diti has a nature to be envious to Indra. And Kashyap Muni, the first instructions he gave, that if you want to do this brata called Pumsavana for entire year, the first thing you have to do is that you cannot be envious of others. So that is also an instruction for all of us as we stay in our Dasosmi family, that we do not speak lies. It's very, very difficult instruction, especially in Kali Yuga, and especially for ladies. It's really, really difficult. Also, men are also no less in speaking lies. Do not speak lies. And do not curse anyone. Sometimes some problem happens in our life. The first internal thought that comes is, some bad things should happen. But this is not a Vaishnava. If you want to become a Vaishnava, then we have to give up this tendency to curse anyone, to desire any amangal, any inauspicious thing for anyone, even if for our enemies. We have the right to defend from our enemies. We have the right to protect ourselves from our enemies who trouble us. But as a Vaishnava, we can never desire anything inauspicious, even for our enemies, even for those who trouble us. We can simply pray that, oh Krishna, please purify their hearts of the sinful tendencies that they have. So Vaishnava, the quality of a Vaishnava is Parama Nirmatsaranam. He's not just Nirmatsar, he's not just non-envious, he's Paramo Nirmatsaranam. He's supremely non-envious. He's the most harmless species in this entire universe is a Vaishnava, is a Vaishnavi. How many of you want to really endeavor to live in and fulfill to this expectation? The most harmless. We should never ever try to manipulate. We should never ever even dream in life, dream that I can manipulate someone, I can speak in such a way and I can get some things out. We should never ever dream to speak lies. We should never ever dream to curse anyone. We should never ever dream to hurt anyone. And if someone gets hurt, we should immediately beg forgiveness because of our behavior, because of our nature. If someone gets hurt, we should immediately beg. We should never desire. And from our heart, and we should always pray for the benefit of others. Maybe because being put in a material world, in a material situation, while doing our daily activities, we may have to incur sin. We may have to do some himsa. Like for example, the washroom which I use in Gosala, so many mosquitoes, so many insects. Sometimes I go and see in the washroom, in the toilet pan, there would be one big insect and sitting on it, and I know I cannot do anything. And if you, where do you pass water? You just have to pass water on his or you do not know it is his or her head or whatever head it is, and it is going to right. Just imagine, it's like sometimes I think, oh my Krishna, when I will get out of this material world. It's like so difficult to stay in this material world. If you really are conscious of this material world, no intelligent person would stay in this material world. Then I would go and open the other washroom, especially in this month of February, March, and also in the month of September and October. It's really bad situation in Gosala. And you go and open the other washroom, and there he is, another species is still sitting in the same place. You cannot touch it, you cannot take it out. Otherwise, you have to take bath. And the call of your nature's call is so much that you cannot resist. And you have to do it. And sometimes I just close my eyes and do it. And then you flush it. And you cannot just go out without flushing, because maybe at least let that living entity stay there. And then you have to flush it, because what the other devotee who comes would feel that, oh, who has come and who has done this, and without flushing he has gone. Then you have to flush it, you have to do it, and then when you flush it, Hare Krishna, I chant one Hare Krishna mantra, and then I press the flush, and then disappeared. I don't know where the living entity goes. This is the unfortunate situation of the material world. No matter how much ever we avoid, the material world is designed in a way that will be forced to do himsa. And that is why it's a brata, tapasya. It's a design in a way that you will be forced. So we should try to reduce it as much as possible, to the extent of making it almost negligible, at least knowingly, intentionally. Unintentionally, though, we don't even know how much ever. Like day before yesterday, I was feeling a little cold, so I thought of going up on the terrace, and on the sun I wanted to chant Hare Krishna, and I was chanting and chanting, walking and chanting, and there was one sound, and I looked down, and I saw there was a small snail. You know snails which have a cell, and the sound was that I have crushed a snail. And that moment only I was chanting Hare Krishna, and I was praying, oh Krishna, when I will get out of this material world? Why? Why I'm still here in this material world? I am ready to do anything. I just want to go. Why? What I did? What mistake I did? Why did I to kill this snail? Why I couldn't? And it was so small that I could not see it, and the color of the snail and the sail was so much that it was completely matching with the terrace, and that's why I could miss it while walking. And especially when you are chanting, you are just walking like this. So this is how the material world is designed. So a person who wants to be a Vaishnava, definitely we do not want to go to spiritual world because we can serve Krishna at every place. Serving Krishna is not dependent on spiritual world. But material world is designed for himsa. And that is why a Vaishnava desires to go to spiritual world, not to get rid of his own suffering, but to go to a place where he will not do any himsa. He can really love everyone. This material world is designed in that way. So the first injunction of becoming a Vaishnava is, at least from our meditative ways, from intentions, we should give up this tendency to tell lies, to manipulate, to be diplomatic, to be political, to harm others, to curse others, to trouble others. And out of all the regulative principles, this regulative principle is very, very essential to be followed very sincerely, of not harming others. No meat eating is not just a regulative principle. The no meat eating is just one principle coming out from the pillar of dharma, that is daya, kindness. Sometimes we are vegetarians, but we speak such harsh words that can really, really cut the hearts of the most sober human beings. That is not the principle of no meat eating. My Gurudev was giving a class and he was speaking about how these four regulative principles, when we say no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, we actually confine them. The four regulative principle is not no gambling, no illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication. The four regulative principle is I will perform, I will practice truthfulness, I will practice kindness, I will practice compassion, I'll practice austerity. These are the four regulative principles. Just by being a vegetarian, it's not that we have fulfilled practicing the regulative principle of no meat eating or kindness. In our mind, in our thoughts, in our words, we should really, really be kind and generous, and we should really love and never ever try to intentionally at least trouble others. This is the first principle of being a Vaishnava, and as we become Vaishnavas, our heart becomes very soft and we constantly pray that, oh Krishna, please, please take me out of this horrible material world, which is designed to give pain to others, and place me at your lotus feet. And that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying. If you see, interestingly, the verse in Sishtastakam, the fourth verse of Sishtastakam. Anyone remembers the fourth verse? Yes, let me have a little bit of taste. Anyone remembers the fourth verse of Sishtastakam? Yes, Santanu Prabhu will say, raising hands.
Na dhanam na janam na sundari kavitam va jagadisha kamare mama janmani janmatishware bhavata bhakti raitu kitrai.
So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praying that, oh my Lord, I do not want any wealth or woman or followers or knowledge or beauty or all these things. I just want to serve you life after life. And in the fifth verse, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that where he wants to serve. Anyone remembers the fifth verse? Yes, Vijay Prabhu. Yes. Now one may say, Bhavata Janma Janma Ahetuki. One can take birth after birth and birth. Then why would Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the fifth verse says, Patita Mam Visham, Vishame. I have been fallen in this horrible material world, where doing service to you is not that easy. Even if I want to render service to you, it is so difficult, so difficult. I am forced to commit himsa. Oh my Lord, please take me out from this material world. Please place me at your lotus feet in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Bhavatam me Vishama Bhavam Bodhi. The material world is a very dangerous place. And no Vaishnava wants to stay in this material world. Not because the material world offers pain to the Vaishnava, but because a Vaishnava sees that if I stay in this material world, I will have to be forced to give pain to others. So the mukti kamana of the yogis, and the yogis also, they have this desire to get liberated, but their desire to get liberated is because they want to get rid of the sufferings of the material world. But the Vaishnavas also want to get liberated. They also want to enter Sri Vrindavan Dham. Though they know that they can serve Krishna everywhere in material world. Like we sing in Vritrasur, Chitraketu Maharaj sang this famous verse, all of you remember? Narayana para sarve nakutaschana bibhyate swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyartha darshanat. That a Vaishnava can serve everywhere. Vaishnava sees Swarga, Apavarga, Naraka, everywhere he can serve. But still a Vaishnava wants to go to Vrindavan Dham and enter the spiritual world. Not that he cannot render service in material world. Not that because he wants to get rid of the suffering that he is getting in material world. But because he knows that the principles of material world are quite contrary to the principles of devotional service. In material world, I will be unintentionally being forced to commit violence. I am helpless. And that is why a devotee doesn't want to stay in this material world. He prays to Krishna, oh Krishna, take me out of this place where I am forced to commit so much of violence to others, give pain to others. So in this way, Kashyap Muni advised Diti, and Diti started doing this very, very, very faithfully, very faithfully, very faithfully. And who becomes afraid? Yes. Seeing the vows of Diti, who becomes afraid is Indra. Indra becomes really afraid, really afraid. My goodness. And then Sukadeva Goswami says what Indra does. We will read now the verses. Yeah. This, from this verse onwards we read. Badham iti abhyupetyath Diti Rajan Mahamanaha Kasyapad Garbham Adhata Vratam Chagyo Dadharasa. O King Parikshit, Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, agreed to undergo the purificatory process known as Pumshavana. Yes, she said, Karungi, I will do it. I shall do everything according to your instructions. With great jubilation, wow, I'm going to get a son who will kill Indra. Wow, wow, with great jubilation. I have done it. I have achieved it. With great jubilation, she became pregnant, having taken semen from Kashyapa, and faithfully began discharging the vow. Hare Krishna. Matru swashur abhiprayam. Yes, anyone?
Patrisashur Abhiprayam
Indra Agyayamanada
Indra Agyamanada
Susrushane Ashramastham
Shushushane Rasyamastham
Ditim Paryacharat Kavi.
Ditim Paryacharakavi.
O king, who are respectful to everyone, Indra understood Diti's purpose. Matru, Diti is also Matru of Indra. Abhiprayam, her purpose. Indra Agyaya Manada, and to actually trouble him. Susrusanena Ashramastham. Following the logic of self-preservation, the first law of nature, he wanted to break Diti's promise. Thus, he engaged himself in the service of Diti, his aunt, who was residing in an ashrama. So now, Indra also has come to serve Diti. So, Diti was serving Kashyapa without having the right motive, and then got the benediction to perform Pumsavana Brata without proper motive, worshipping Vishnu to get a son to kill devotee of Vishnu. Imagine Sri Nitai Das does a brata to kill some devotee, you worship Vishnu to get a benediction to kill a devotee of Vishnu. So Diti is having wrong purpose. Now Indra has joined the race. Now Indra is coming, and we will see what Indra is doing. Indra has arrived in the ashram, and Diti is, "Oh Indra, my son, you have come, my son, you have come." Diti is so nicely, "Oh my mother, my mother." And Indra is crying with all his thousands eyes. Indra's tears are coming out, and Diti's also tears are coming out, and everyone knows both are crocodile tears. Hare Krishna. Indra is crying and Diti is crying, and only Kashyap is seeing from distance what is happening, mother, son, my goodness. So then Indra said, "My dear mother, I heard you are pregnant and you have no assistant. This Kashyap Muni my father is always in meditation and is always in office, and there is no maid. Who will serve you, my mother? I have come to help you, and I heard that you're doing some brata and just to get a good son. Oh, I will help you, mother." And Diti, out of her womanly nature, says, "Oh, nice. Indra is so nice. Yes, yes, I know what son will come, what will happen. Okay. Anyway, this boy has come to help me. Very good, very good. You help me very nicely, then I will get a son to kill you only." So Diti is thinking like this. And Indra is thinking, "Oh, I am coming to help you, to serve you, to serve you, to serve you." And what Indra is thinking, we will hear from Sukadeva Goswami. Hare Krishna. Nityam banat sumanasaha
Nityam vanat sumanasaha
phala mula samit kushan
Phala mula samit kushan
Patrankura mridopascha
Patrankura mridopascha
Kale kala upaharat.
Kale kala upaharat.
Indra served his aunt daily by bringing flowers, fruits, roots, wood for yajnas from the forest. He also brought kusha grass, leaves, sprouts, earth and water exactly at the proper time. Hare Krishna. No servant would do. I have seen so many servants and all. Everything they will do. They will do all these things. But the last statement is very, very important. Exactly at proper time. Getting servant is easy, you can pay. But when your hunger has come to the level of that, you are going shouting and shouting, yes, I have just started cutting the sabjis to make sabji for you. So servants, but Sukadeva Goswami knows the intricacies of the servants, the tendency of the servants, exactly at the proper time. That was how meticulous Indra was. Now let's see. Evam tasya brata sthaya.
Evam tasya vrata sthaya.
Brata chidram harir nripa.
Vrata chidram harir nirpa.
Prepsu paryacharat jimno.
Prepsu paryacharat jinno.
Mriga heva mriga kriti.
Mriga heva mriga kriti.
O King Parikshit, as the hunter of a deer becomes like a deer by covering his body with a deer skin and serving the deer, so Indra, although at heart the enemy of the sons of Diti, became outwardly friendly and served Diti in a faithful way. Indra's purpose was to cheat Diti. As soon as he could find some fault in the way she discharged the vows of the ritualistic ceremony, however, he wanted to be undetected and therefore he served her very faithfully. Hare Krishna. It is something like someone coming to ISKCON with different purposes that we discussed in the manipulative behavior section. So many people coming to ISKCON with different purposes, and Indra is serving. And the example Sukadeva Goswami is giving, sometimes a hunter actually covers himself fully like in the deer skin and looks like a deer. It's like, I would please hear it attentively. Now one may say, how can a deer get bewildered? A hunter is there and hunter and deer, and please hear it attentively. This was really when I was reading this verse, I was remembering yesterday what happened. Yesterday I was just reading the verse. I had prepared the class beforehand, but I was just going through in the evening. So yesterday Chandan Prabhu and his wife came to take darshan of Nitai Gauranga. And I was in temple hall, and Santanu Prabhu called me and said, Prabhuji has come, you can come down. So I came running to temple hall. So I had not taken darshan of Nitai Gauranga, so I paid Dandavat to Srila Prabhupada, and then I paid Dandavat to Nitai Gauranga, and I was just going and seeing Nitai Gauranga, and I was going, and while I was going, I saw one Mataji sitting like this. And as a sannyasi, I don't, until unless it is required, I don't look at a Mataji. So I just, and anyway, I was wanting to take darshan of Nitai Gauranga. I was just going, but when you walk like this, you could still, your vision still sees that who is sitting down and everything. So I could see that the Mataji is holding some boy or someone like this, and and I understood some Mataji is there, and I took darshan. And then Chandan Kumar Prabhu was standing on the other door. So I looked around to find out where is Chandan Prabhu, to call him near Lord to offer some diya. So when I looked to Chandan Prabhu, then my eyes went to that Mataji. And I saw that the Mataji is not holding a boy, is holding a dog. Hare Krishna! It's a dog, completely decorated with caps and everything. It is a dog. And what I will speak to Chandan Kumar, I was like, oh, dog has come to temple hall. I was like roaming around what to do and how do I tell. And the Mataji was really like the advanced version of a Mataji. It really was not looking like a Mataji. So but as a sannyasi, I have to address her as a Mataji, and I have to see her as a Mataji. And I was roaming around what to do. I forgot Chandan Kumar, I forgot Nitai Gauranga. I just was trying to search out someone who can tell that Mataji to send the dog out. I was thinking, if this dog gives whatever, in the does potty here in this temple hall. And I was calling, and I told Santanu, Prabhu, it's a dog. Prabhuji, I have been also thinking for a while. I was becoming so angry on Santanu Prabhu in my mind. What nonsense is this person? He's not doing anything. He is seeing this is a dog, is not a son. And then I told Chandrasekhar, oh, it's a dog. Tell that Mataji to go out. And I didn't have guts to tell that Mataji, because Mataji was not looking like a Mataji. It's some version of a Mataji, but not a Mataji. Whatever it is. But she was having a dog, and it's like fully like the Matajis carry near their breast and chest like this, fully like a son only, like this. And the face of the dog is protruding out like this. And then I said to Chandrasekhar, get this lady out of the temple hall. And Chandrasekhar, while he was going, the lady automatically went out. And I felt so relieved. And then I gave darshan. I showed Chandan Kumar Prabhu entire Gosala. I talked with him and everything. All after everything completed, Chandan Kumar Prabhu left. The first thing I did was to go and meet the security. I called the security and I asked, what nonsense you are? Don't you know this simple concept that dogs are not allowed inside temple hall? Said, the security asked, it was a dog? I said, what? I was not knowing it was her boy. I also don't look at Matajis. And our security person has a big thick glasses. With the big thick glasses, he could not recognize it's a dog. And he was telling, oh Prabhu, right now I'm hearing from you it's a dog. It was not a dog, it was her boy only, child only. Said, Prabhu, you should look at Matajis very carefully. What they are bringing to temple hall, they are bringing dogs to temple hall, and you are telling, Prabhuji, sorry Prabhuji, I really missed it out. I was thinking it is her son only. So, you see, this is the condition of human beings getting bewildered. What to speak of deer getting bewildered? Just wearing a deer skin and coming. So the deer would get bewildered and the hunter would kill the deer. So I was remembering this, but we can see what type of people are not understanding where to bring home. They are just, and how to deal with her. It's really, really Hare Krishna. Anyway, so Indra was serving with so much of, you see how we can get bewildered? So how much Diti would have got bewildered by Indra's such humble service attitude. But then Indra could not find any fault. And Indra became very, very afraid that, my goodness, 1 year is about to get over. Some few days are remaining and this lady is not committing any mistake. I'm going to be killed. With great fear, Indra was not able to sleep. Throughout the day, Indra was doing service to Diti, and in the night, throughout the night, Indra was thinking, oh Krishna, please make Diti commit some mistake. Please make my mother commit some mistake. And one day, just some days were remaining, Sukadeva Goswami says, that Diti was so tired because you see the Bratas was like Diti had become very thin and frail, and more than that, she was carrying the baby. She was pregnant and she has become thin and frail because of the Bratas. And she was so tired. Kashyap Muni had said that you cannot sleep without washing your feet, washing your mouth, washing your feet, all those things, then you can go to sleep. But Diti was so tired. Whole day she would fast, and in the night in the evening she would drink some milk or something, some fruits or something, after offering to Vishnu. She took it, and without washing her mouth and feet and hands, she just lied down and without her, unconsciously she slept. And Indra understood this is the situation. Indra, out of his powers, became extremely small and entered in the womb of Diti, and then became big, little bit, this small Indra in the womb now. And Indra took out the sword, started cutting the embryo mercilessly. Just imagine, how can someone do like this? And to his own mother. That means they are Indra's cousin brothers. And Indra started cutting. Indra first cut the entire embryo into 7 parts. And as soon as Indra cut the embryo into 7 parts, all the 7 parts became alive. And they started telling, Maruta, Maruta, don't kill us. Maruta, stop killing us. Ruta matlab, ma matlab stop. Just ma means stop. Ruta matlab don't kill us, don't hurt us. And Indra was so merciless. Again, he took 7 parts and started making more 7 parts. And like that, there were 49 parts, and all started shouting, Maruta, 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 we are your followers, we are your followers. Why you are hitting us and hurting us? Then Indra understood that these are not demons. They are not of Hiranyakashipu category, which I was thinking. Because if Hiranyakashipu again takes birth from Diti, it will be horrible. This is different category. How can my mother, who is the who gives birth to demons, daityas, how can she create such personalities? Indra was shocked, seeing that these are demigods. And immediately Indra, when he understood that these are not demons, these are not asuras, they will not create problem for me and for the world, like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha did, immediately Indra stopped. And he said, oh, if you are of this demigod category, I will give you protection. You do not have to fear anyone. I will personally give you protection. And Indra takes all the 49 children in his, what do you say, in his, like, we take in lap, like the lady was carrying in the lap the dog yesterday. Indra took all the 49 children and came out of Diti's womb, and it was just like a miscarriage for Diti. And when Diti came out thinking, oh, I have done a miscarriage happened, Diti saw Indra sitting and all the 49 children sitting and 50 children coming out. Imagine, I don't know how they came out. What type of gynecologist will be shocked to hear about all these things. How 50 children coming out from one lady. And all were sitting, and not that all the 49 children were crying, like, and the doctor is beating them and cleaning them. All they were So the demigods also go through pregnancy and all, but not like human beings, how we go through pregnancy and how the child is born. The demigods also give birth, but they don't give birth like this and all the fluid is there in the body of the person and then it has to be taken bath and washed and clean and all this. They're just really clean. The babies are really clean in demigod lokas. So they all come out and they were sitting like this. And then Diti is shocked. Now Diti could not resist telling the truth. And Diti says, my dear Indra, my dear son, I did this brata faithfully to get a son to kill you. I am telling the truth. How can these sons be born who are your friends and they are dealing with you so nicely? You are dealing with you so nicely. If you consider me as your relative, as your mother, please tell me the truth. Don't tell me lies. And then Indra tells the truth. My dear mother, I came to serve you. Not to serve you, but to find out how I can kill these sons. But somehow when I started killing them, they were demigods. They were my friends. And that is why I am born with them again. Please forgive me for my behavior, O my mother. Like this, Indra says to Diti. And then Indra glorifies the power of devotional service to Diti, which we will recite now and we will end the class. This is Indra glorifying the power of devotional service to Mother Diti, explaining, because Mother Diti said, oh, how can this be possible? I did a vow to kill you and how can these sons be born? Tatastat parama ascharyam
ततस्तत् परमाश्चर्यम्
Bhiksha Vyavasitam Maya
वीक्ष्य व्यवसितं मया
Mahapurusha Pujaya
महापुरुष पूजाय
Siddhi Kapyanusangini.
सिद्धि काव्यानुसंगिनी.
Translation: My dear mother, when I saw that all 49 sons were alive, I was certainly struck with wonder. So Indra is telling, it's not that you are struck with wonder, but I was also struck with wonder inside. I decided that this was a secondary result of your having regularly executed devotional service in worship of Lord Vishnu. So this is just a anusangini. The word here used is very, very important. This is anusangini. It's a secondary result of your worshipping devotional service, doing devotional service to Vishnu. That these sons became alive, and they were not just alive, they became devotees. And they were offered protection. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that this is just a secondary result. The purification of the heart and the protection that is offered to devotees, like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sadhurevasya mantavya samya vyavashito hi saha api chet suduracharo bhajante maam ananya bhag sadhurevasya mantavya. I will give protection. Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranasyati. My devotee will never perish. O Arjuna, go and declare. So Krishna promises physical protection and mental purification. Performance of devotional service to Krishna promises physical protection. All the sons of Ditis were protected. They could not be killed physically. And Diti's heart was purified. Mentally, she was purified. Indra was also purified. But all these things, protection and purification, is just anusangini. This is secondary result of devotional service. This is not the primary result. Primarily, we are not practicing Krishna consciousness for purification of mind. Primarily, we are not practicing Krishna consciousness for giving us protection or ensuring that we are protected in this material world. We may pray to Krishna for protection so that we can render devotional service to him. But primarily, devotional service doesn't offer these results. These results are secondary results of devotional service, Indra says to Diti. The result of your 49 sons being physically protected from my Brajra, just imagine, Indra's Brajra is not an ordinary thing. It is Indra's Bajra which killed Vritrasur, given by Dadichi. Even that Bajra could not kill these Marutas. So Indra was also struck with wonder. So Krishna may offer physical protection to us, Krishna may offer mental purification to us, but these are all secondary results. And then Indra will say, what is the primary result? Please hear and read this verse very carefully. This is the last verse we'll be taking today, 6th canto, 18th chapter, 75th sloka. Aradhyatma pradam devam Swatmanam Jagadishwaram Ko Brinita Gunasparsham Buddha Syat Narake Piyat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Very nice purport. The ultimate goal of all ambitions is to become a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If an intelligent man serves the most dear Lord who gives himself to devotees, Atma Pradam, how can he desire material happiness which is even available in hell? So the primary goal of devotional service is that Krishna himself gives himself to his devotees. Atma Pradam, he gives himself. Like Krishna gave himself to the gopis, like Krishna he gave himself to the Brajavasis, like Krishna gave himself to the Pandavas because of the devotional service. An intelligent man will never aspire to become a devotee to achieve material happiness. That is the taste of a devotee. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches, na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti raheti kitvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor I do desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service birth after birth. A pure devotee never begs the Lord for material happiness in the shape of riches, follows a good wife, or even mukti. The Lord promises, however, yoga kshema vahamyaham. I voluntarily bring everything necessary for my service. But this promise of the Lord that I will preserve and protect my devotees, provide everything to my devotees, is just the secondary result that a devotee gets in fulfilling the vows of devotional service. The primary result is Lord becomes available to the devotee as devotee's servants. Aham bhakta paradhino. The Lord becomes paradhin, completely dependent on the devotees, on the mercy of the devotees. So in this way, this chapter ends glorifying the power of devotional service, glorifying the power of protection, and also glorifying even if one has wrong desires, completely wrong desires in serving Lord Vishnu. But the power of devotional service to Lord Vishnu is so immense that one can get immediately purified. That is why Sukadeva Goswami says, Akamo sarva kamo ba moksha kamo udaradi tibrena bhakti yogena yajate purusho param. One has material desires, one has desires, no desires. If one performs intensely devotional service like Diti performed, he or she will be get completely purified. Now we see a very interesting thing that Indra came to assist Diti. Indra was not doing Pumsavan Brat. Indra was assisting Diti, who was doing Pumsavan Brata. Even Indra was purified. Hare Krishna. And Diti was not doing Pumsavan Brata with proper desires. Diti was doing Pumsavan Brata with wrong desires. Indra was assisting Diti with wrong desires, and all got purified. That is the power. So Srila Prabhupada is doing devotional service to Krishna, to Srimati Radharani. Even if in this movement of Srila Prabhupada we see people coming to this movement, joining this movement with wrong desires, we should understand they will all get purified. They will all get purified in due course of time by the power of devotional service, provided Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. They chant, they do all the limbs of devotional service with Tibrata, with intensity, like Diti did. Though Diti had wrong desires, but she performed devotional service with intensity and faithfulness to the Guru. So if we are faithful to the orders of our spiritual master, then devotional service will purify all wrong desires and make us paramo nirmat saranam satam. That is the power. And that's how this canto ends. And Parikshit Maharaj gets so impressed that Parikshit Maharaj immediately asks, "Oh, please tell me, oh Sukadeva Goswami, tell me, oh Brahmana, please tell me elaborately how to perform Pumsavan Vrat." And then in the next chapter, Sukadeva Goswami elaborately explains the performance of Pumsavan Vrat in more elaboration in the entire chapter, which he said in some 3-4 verses in the this chapter, 18th chapter. The 19th chapter is about Pumsavan Vrat, which we will not go because it's just a translation. You can read how to perform the Pumsavan Vrat. But the essence of the teaching lesson that we learn here is this, that the devotional service to Vishnu is very, very powerful. And it can purify us, all the contamination that is present in our heart. Now, just in 5 minutes, we will discuss about the link to the next section of what we are going to read and learn in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, I have a question to all of you. All of you are intelligent. Think for a while. We will now connect it to Madhurya Kadambini. The reason I came to this, a detour from Madhurya Kadambini, was a little bit of connection that is there. So please hear attentively this, because I'm going to ask you a question. Now in Madhurya Kadambini, anyone can say the steps of the Madhurya Kadambini which he completed? Yes, anyone? Anyone would like to say? Who would say, oh my goodness, छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी. We should not perform devotional service. Yes, Selja Mataji will enlighten us. Oh, Selja Mataji is seeing the notes. Well, that is not. This is how you get caught when your camera is on. Anyway, but Krishna is merciful, Lord Chaitanya is more merciful. So even if with notes, you can still say enlighten us. Yes, you are muted. Please unmute. Yes.
Prabhuji, sir, Utsamayi.
No. Just tell the steps, bigger steps. not the 6 steps of Bhajan Kriya. The first one is Ado Shraddha.
आदो श्रद्धा और साधु संगत,
Very good.
भजन क्रिया,
Very good.
और उसके बाद अनर्थ निवृत्ति.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Anartha Nivritti. These are the 4 stages we discussed. Now the question, please mute. Now the question is, now what is meaning of a stage or a step? These are all steps, right? Steps means, stages means you will have to do some endeavor. Now my question is, Bhajana Kriya is a step. Definitely we have to do bhajan. We have to do our devotional service. Now Anartha Nivritti, how can it be a step? What step Diti took? Diti only did Bhajana Kriya. Indra only did Bhajana Kriya. Anartha Nivritti, they never been considered about Nivritti to Anartha. They were considering Anartha as Artha only. They were doing Anartha. Purpose of their devotional service was not Anartha Nivritti, it was Anartha Pravritti. Correct? So now the question is, then is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrong in telling this is Anartha Nivritti? Because Anartha Nivritti is automatically happening. Then how it is a stage? You are understanding my question? Did Diti, Indra thought about Anartha Nivritti? No. They did Bhajana Kriya. They performed Bhajana Kriya with Anartha Pravritti intentions. How to get Anarthas. How to kill Indra. Indra was thinking how to kill the sons so that they don't become like Hiranyakashipu. So they were doing intentionally wrong things but performing Bhajana Kriya. But Anartha Nivritti happened automatically. Then where is Anartha Nivritti required? So directly Bhajana Kriya and the next step is Nishtha, like Indra reached. Indra did Bhajana Kriya and Anartha Nivritti automatically happened by the process of Bhajana Kriya. So why the step has to be mentioned? On Bhajana Kriya, then Nishtha. By doing Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti will happen, but you do not have to do anything. You just do Bhajana Kriya and then Nishtha you will get. Then why Anartha Nivritti is a step? What steps we have to take? Yes. Okay. Sabyasachi Prabhu.
Thanks, Lord. We talk about the Nishtha, then Anartha Nivritti, then if you are not in the stage, it is from Nishtha to Ruchi. That is the progress. So Nishtha can be out of, which is a discipline. It is out of compulsion. It is out of instruction. But Ruchi.
No. We are not going to Ruchi. We are talking about Anartha Nivritti. Why Anartha Nivritti is an intermediate step? Because that is not required. Bhajana Kriya itself offers Nishtha. We saw in the case of Indra and Diti that Bhajana Kriya offers Nishtha, steadiness, and all the purification automatically happens. So why Anartha Nivritti is a step? That's the question.
If Anartha Nivritti would not be there, then we will be Nishrita Bhakta. We cannot be purified.
That is...
So Anartha Nivritti is the stage to go to the next level where we can be purified. So if you do not have Anartha Nivritti in devotional service, we cannot go to the eternal aim of go back to the Godhead. You will stuck again in the material pool if Anartha Nivritti is there.
Perfect.
So we need to cross the stage to the final.
Perfect. So, but the question is that these stages of Madhurya Kadamini is, at every stage the person has to perform some things. That means in Ado Shraddha, to Sadhu Sangha, the performance is Ado Shraddha, he is just coming, but he is not associating with devotees. But in Sadhu Sangha, he is endeavoring to associate. So, and then but he is not committed to the devotional principles. He is not committed to chanting. So, in Bhajana Kriya, he is endeavoring to do something. But Bhajana Kriya, you do not have to endeavor to Anartha Nivriti. Anartha Nivriti is definitely, it will happen. So, why it is a stage? Because stage means you have to do something. What you have to do? What Indra did? Nothing. They did Bhajana Kriya. Diti did nothing. They did Bhajana Kriya. And Anartha Nivriti will happen. Definitely what you are saying, that if you want to become perfect, then Anartha Nivriti is required. That is correct. But why then it is a step? It is required. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur would have mentioned that by Bhajana Kriya, Anarthas will be done Nibriti and will enter the stage of Nishtha. And in Nishtha, he has to do certain things more to get Ruchi. So why Anartha Nibriti? How it is not contradicting to Indra and Diti? That is the question. Yes, Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Prabhuji, as soon as Bhajan Kriya starts, Anarth Nivritti starts. So that's why it has been mentioned, and it is an ongoing process which actually can go up to higher levels of.
Okay, that is there, but stage, how it is a stage? What endeavor? We are not endeavoring anything for Anartha Nivritti.
It's only endeavor to follow the instructions of Guru, because
that is Bhajan Kriya. Then what is the definition of Bhajan Kriya stage then?
Yes.
Bhajan Kriya means endeavoring to follow the instructions of Guru. That is Bhajan Kriya. How it is Anartha Nivritti then? So what is this Anartha Nivritti? Yes, okay, good. I have put some technical question and I have put all of you at, yes, Udit Prabhu. I hope all of you are understanding this interesting question. Yeah, correct, yes.
In Anartha Nivritti, there are also 4 stages, which you told in Madhurika. And then one person is purified after Bhajan Kriya, so that he comes at the level of ego. And when that person comes at a level of ego, there are certain anarthas still existing, like Pratishtha, like Puja Lam and Pratishtha. So, although that person is purified at mind and intelligence level, but not at the ego level. So that is why.
But we also discussed that ego is something the living entity cannot do anything. At least mind he can endeavor to purify. Ego to he cannot endeavor. So he is completely like, oh Krishna, Anartha Nivriti. My ego ko aap hi nivrit kar sakte hain. Then what he has to endeavor? He has to only chant Hare Krishna and pray to Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna, oh Krishna. Then what endeavor we have to do in Anartha Nivriti? It's devotional service only. At least mind though, at least there is some, we are able to understand the mind. Ego though we are not able to understand, only what we will endeavor to do purification of ego. Right? So the point is what endeavors we have to make in Anartha Nivriti. Because if Anartha Nivriti is an intermediate stage, that means endeavors are there. But from Srimad Bhagavatam, from the entire 6th canto, we saw that purification in devotional service involves no separate endeavor. Correct? This is what we saw. Hriday ki suddhikaran, wo antakaran ki suddhikaran. Means the purification of mind, intelligence and ego doesn't involve any separate endeavor in devotional service. Then why did Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur put this as a separate stage? Yes. Santanu Prabhu and Sukriti Mataji. First Sukriti Mataji. One lady and then one boy.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Prabhuji, what I feel is Diti got the instructions for Anartha Nivriti also along with the Bhajan Kriya. I mean, she got the instruction to worship Vishnu, but she got the instruction not to be envious. And then those type of instructions also she got. So those are the part of Anartha Nivriti. Because we have to leave being envious and she should not be cursing anyone. So in that case, she got the instructions to do both the things simultaneously. So when she did that, then she was able to accept in front of Indra that she was envious. So that was Anartha Nivriti. She also took some steps
But that is the part of devotional service. That is the part of performance of devotional service. That is not anything extra. That's what is Pumsavan Vrata. Definitely. But what is Anartha Nivriti? That we did Vrata only, like we are told that when you come, you address each other as Prabhus, and you do not do this, you do not do that. That's devotional service only. What is exactly?
I don't know, maybe Shantanu Prabhu can answer.
Last Shantanu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving Anarth Nivriti description as a stage because he knows that there will be obstacles on the path of Bhajan Kriya which will slow down one's Bhajan Kriya, like lust in the heart or greed in the heart, especially the aparadhas. So he is informing it as a stage so that we know Bhajan Kriya is sufficient to purify the heart. And Bhajan, like if we just don't offend Vaishnavas and sit in the home, our heart will not be clean. But when we do bhajan, the Vaishnava aparadh will create hindrance in the bhajan, it will not be effective. So he is giving all the instructions so that your bhajan is most effective and you can purify the heart. So the stage of don't do this will create a problem. This thing will come up in your heart after some bhajan, after 4 years, 10 years. So I think this is what is the stage he's informing, to take care of the don'ts.
Okay, your thought and Sukriti Mataji's thought match a lot. But you said the right answer in a wrong way. All your answers contained the answer, but you didn't mention the answer. So all the don'ts, whatever is there, they're part of devotional service only. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that all the anarthas are automatic. They will happen. The last that Shantanu Prabhu is telling, obstacle, envy, that we saw Diti, Ajamila was having lust, and Diti is having envy, Indra was having anger and pride and wanted to enjoy, and all those things, they will automatically get purified. But what we have to be careful, what we have to endeavor is aparadh, especially Vaishnava aparadh and Guru aparadh and Nam aparadh. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that is why in the entire Anartha Nivriti section, he doesn't speak about anarthas. He doesn't speak about what is meaning of anarthas generally. What we know about anarthas is Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Mascharya. Correct? These are our anarthas. And there is no mention of these anarthas. There is no mention how these anarthas will go away. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur just writes one verse, small verse, that these anarthas will automatically get eliminated. We will discuss something important what we have to do in this stage. For someone to go above the Anartha Nivriti and come to the stage of Nishtha means he has to get rid of offenses. He has to stop committing the Dasa Nama Aparadh. And that is why Anartha Nivriti is synonymous to aparadha, to not committing offenses. And especially elaborately Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions about the Nama Aparadha, and Nama Aparadha especially about offenses to Vaishnavas. So that is Anartha Nivriti. So the endeavor in Anartha Nivriti stage is to perform Bhajana Kriya without offenses, without offending Vaishnavas. And that's we have to learn. We need to learn how all different ways we can offend Vaishnavas, how all different ways we can offend Guru, how we can different ways we can offend the holy name, and how we can remain in Anartha Nivriti stage. So that is why it's a stage, because anarthas will not go away, offenses will not go away by its own. Because we only intentionally or unintentionally, whatever we do, aparadhs. Sins will go away, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, but offenses we need to endeavor. And for every offenses to holy name, there is a particular endeavoring process. Offenses to Vaishnavas, there is a particular way to get rid of offenses to Vaishnavas. For offenses to Guru, there is a particular way to get rid of offenses to Guru. And that's how the entire section of Anartha Nivritti gets sifted from these Anarthas, Kam, Krodha, Lova, Mada, Mascharya to Aparad. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a seminar on Aparad on this fourth stage. So Diti and Indra didn't committed any Vaishnava Aparad. They were trying to serve each other with wrong motives, but they didn't offended any Vaishnava. They were doing that, and that's how they got purified. So we need to abstain from Vaishnava Aparad. Is this clear? So we will see certain things about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Aparadhas, what he mentions in Anartha Nivritti section, and we will start now the fourth canto, the beginning of the fourth canto, how Daksha offends Lord Shiva. Then we will see how Daksha offends Narad Muni, and then we will go to Dhruva Maharaj section in the fourth canto. So this is how we will go now. We'll go to fourth canto. We will see the first part of the fourth canto, Daksha offending Lord Shiva, and then we will come again to sixth canto, Daksha offending Narad Muni, and then we will go to Dhruva Maharaj, the fourth canto. Then we will complete the entire fourth canto, Dhruva Maharaj, Anga Maharaj, Vena, Pruthu Maharaj, Indra and Pruthu. And then in the end of the fourth canto, we will see a very wonderful story, allegorical story called Puranjan. It's when Puranjan will start, you'll all be really, really amazed. It's really interesting, Puranjan. And Puranjan and his wife Puranjani. Hare Krishna. Okay, so this is how we will go now. We will almost completed sixth canto, except of the section Daksha offending Narad Muni. But we will see how Daksha offending Lord Shiva first, and then we will complete the fourth canto. Yes, anyone has any question? Sumit Prabhu has question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. धन्यवाद प्रभु. प्रभु मेरा प्रश्न ये है, जैसे आपने क्लास में बताया जो इंद्र थे, ही इज अ डिवोटी ऑफ लॉर्ड विष्णु, और जो उनका बिहेवियर था, द इंटेंशंस ही हैड, आई विल किल दिस चाइल्ड ऑफ अदिति. So that is again that principle, Vaishnava principle, that we should not keep any envious behavior. They have not done anything till now to Lord Indra. तो अभी तक तो कुछ किया नहीं, तो he has same kind of intention, just like what Kansa did to the child of Krishna's mother.
Yes.
The intention is something similar.
Yes.
So this is, and we also see that Lord sees he's a Bhavagri. He sees the intentions, not externally what we are doing. So that is my first point. Similarly, Diti का case देखते हैं प्रभु. So I am surprised that though she did this vrata, but till end there is no shloka where it is written that now she is purified. Means at till end she had same intention that my child will kill Indra. So why that purification has not happened to her?
So the shloka is mentioned. We didn't cover that shloka that Diti got purified. The purification has happened. Sukdev Goswami mentions how the purification happened to Diti, and we could not read all the slokas of, but you see, purification was visible only when Indra and the sons came visible. So Diti was purified. The first example of Diti's purification is to allow Indra to serve her. Can you imagine? Sometimes we just read the story like that. But understand, this lady is doing brata to kill Indra, and Indra is coming to serve her, to allow Indra to serve her itself is the sign of Diti getting purified. But in the end, Diti said, oh Indra, I started the Brat. If you read the text, I started the Brat with this. I don't know how this came. But that doesn't mean Diti has not got purified. Diti by that time has got purified. That's how Diti allowed Indra to come and serve. And Diti has got rid of the ill feelings towards Indra. So, but in the end, Diti says that, oh, I started this with this. Honestly, I am telling the truth. Now, I don't feel like this to you, O Indra. But I started this with this. But how come? Okay, okay, my heart has got purified. I accept. But how come Vishnu's worship got foiled? How come Vishnu's worship should not get foiled? The sun should be born to kill only you. How comes the sun? So that is the power of Vishnu that Indra says. So it's not that Diti's heart was purified at the end. Diti's heart got purified. That's why she allowed Indra to come serve her and all those things. But externally we saw that the sons were devotees. Now how Indra came with these wrong intentions? So that is how it is. The 6th canto, the Lord is so merciful that even if one comes to the Lord with wrong intentions, He purifies it. See, Lord can tolerate someone coming with wrong intentions to perform devotional service, but externally, at least, we should not try to do anything wrong to anyone. Externally, Indra was trying to serve Diti only, correct? And intentions got purified by the Lord. The Lord wants to protect Indra, the Lord wants to protect Diti because they are Lord's devotees only. They are not demons. They are having some momentary problems in their life. They are not born of demoniac nature. They don't want to hurt others. They are having wrong intentions and that has to be purified. They are not demoniac. Indra is not demoniac. But Indra has fear that, oh, if I get killed, that is natural. It's not that Indra planned to kill Diti only. No. When Diti wanted to kill Indra, then Indra became fearful and came. So where Indra was wrong? Self-preservation is fine. Imagine you hear that someone is trying to kill you. So you want to defend yourself in some way. Then that is not wrong. But for Diti, it was really wrong. From Diti's side, it was wrong. That is why the chapter is entitled Diti vows to kill Indra. Diti was wrong, definitely. But Diti also got purified. So we need to understand that though Diti was wrong, but Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, as an answer to your question, says that Diti faithfully followed her guru, that is Kashyapa. So someone may have wrong intentions, someone may have tendency to harm others, but if someone is following the guru's instructions, then she will get delivered. There are so many aparadhas and all those things, but at least Diti was following one Vaishnava, that is Kashyapa, ready to follow the guru. Then other things slowly get nullified. If nothing, Diti, imagine Diti would have offended Kashyap only. Arey, just see what this fellow cheated me, my husband cheated me, sons are born. Diti didn't say like that. Diti faithfully followed. Right? So because of her faithful following of instructions of Kashyapa, Diti got this result. Okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Just one moment, Prabhu. तो कंस ने जो पुत्रों को मारा था प्रभु, तो वो फिर हम लोग कंसिडर क्यों नहीं करते कि that is also under defense for his self protection?
Yeah, because Kamsa was not just killing the sons. Kamsa was demoniac. Kamsa also killed the cows. Kamsa was troubling the other people. So Kamsa was demoniac, but Indra is not demoniac. Indra was not doing anything, any problem, any trouble to others. So Indra's case of preserving himself cannot be compared to Kamsa, because Kamsa was by nature demoniac and Indra by nature was not demoniac. Indra had no history of killing other demigods. Indra had no history of killing cows. Indra had no history of usurping someone's property. But Kamsa had all history. He was demoniac. And a demoniac person is planned he will be killed. And then he is trying to protect himself, then it is not considered self-preservation. It is considered that he is committing further sins. Right? So like that. So Kamsa is demoniac, Indra is not demoniac. Yes, Salja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question was same as Sumit Prabhu, but think Prabhuji, Indra, like he was believing on God, then why he did not waited that she is performing so meticulously this devotional service? So he should have waited, now the result will not be wrong. Then why he has to enter the woman kill? First thing, and secondly, why he wanted to wait for some fault? Diti का कुछ तो mistake हो, and then I will take the advantage.
Yeah,
तो क्या प्रभु जी, अगर हमसे कुछ गलती हो जाता है डिवोशनल सर्विस, तो क्या उस समय हमारा कुछ मतलब we are on the wrong side, we are not protected by the Lord for that little mistake she did?
No, we have to understand that our role model in our devotional service is not Indra, is not Diti. They are demigods. They are mixed devotees. They have tendency to enjoy the material world. Our role model in devotional service is Bitrasur, who chastised Indra. That, oh Indra, what you're doing is simply attached to this material sense enjoyment. Our role models are gopis. But we can learn lessons from their life. But if we make Indra as our role model, oh, how can Indra be behaving like this? If Indra had faith on devotional service, why didn't he wait? Because he is not a pure devotee. Indra has tendency to enjoy in this material world. That's why he is Indra. But a devotee's nature is to take lessons from everyone. If the demigods can teach me some lessons in pure devotional service, then it's fine. But Indra is not performing pure devotional service. Indra's service to Krishna is not considered among pure devotional service. Indra wants to enjoy this world and along with do devotional service to Krishna. But our goal of life, though we may be more contaminated than Indra is much more purified, Indra is demigod and he is much more powerful, he is very, very dear to Krishna, and we are useless, fallen souls, having more contaminations than Indra, much more. But our goal is not to become a demigod. Our goal is to become Gopi Bharatu Padakamala Dasa Dasa Dasanu Dasa. And because our goal is different, that is why we only take essential lessons from the pastimes of the demigods. We don't make demigods as our role model. If this pastime is spoken by the Karmakandis, this pastime the Karmakandis also know. But their goal will be what? Arey, worship Vishnu, become a demigod like Maruta. Just see, the Marutas become demigods. They will try to extract that lesson. Do devotional service to Krishna, become demigod, become the servant of Indra, and get the post and position that Indra will offer you. That lesson that the Karma Kandis will take out from this section of Srimad Bhagavatam. But what lesson we are taking out? We are taking out lesson that how powerful is the devotional service. Let me be encouraged. I may have much more contaminations than Indra and Diti and all. But one day I will definitely become a pure devotee of Krishna, and I also have hope that I will one day become like the gopis of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So the pastime can be same, but what lessons a pure devotee takes is different. So why Indra behaved like this? Because he is a Sakama Bhakta. But that doesn't mean that Indra is just a Sakama Bhakta. Indra is a very great person, very, very great person. And we can learn very, very essential lessons from the life of Indra for our pure devotional service. And we can pray to Indra to help us to go back to Godhead. Then he will help. But we cannot question, oh, if he is helping me, I am praying to him, why he is staying in material world? That is his free will. If we pray to Indra, Indra will help us to perform pure devotional service. But we cannot question Indra why him. That is his free will. But he is a great person. He is the manager of this material world. And we are under his supervision. So we should be very humble and grateful to him for whatever he is providing us. We should be very respectful to him. We should pray to him that, okay, oh Indra, please help me to become a pure devotee of the Lord, a servant of the gopis. He will bless us. His blessings will act on us. It will help in our pure devotional service. But he will remain like this, and what's wrong in that? Srila Prabhupada's father used to go to Mayavadi sannyasis and yogis and take Srila Prabhupada and tell him, make my Abhay a good devotee of Srimati Radharani. And they would bless. The Mayavadi sannyasis would bless. Yes, yes, yes. Your Abhay will become a good devotee of Srimati Radharani. So like that. If someone is superior to us, we can ask for his blessings. But that does not necessarily mean that if Indra has to be a pure devotee to bless us. Indra is what he is. But we can take essential lessons for pure devotional service from the life of Indra, and we can even pray to Indra. We can even pray to Diti. Diti is our mother. Indra is our supervisor of the material world. He is our in charge, boss. Indra is the boss of the material world. We should never offend Indra, but we should never follow in the footsteps of Indra also. We respectfully pray to Indra, please help me to get out of this material world. Okay? Hare Krishna. Yes, Kushal Vihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for wonderful class. Prabhuji, actually, I'll talk about myself. So, when we are praying to Krishna, we are chanting, and that time we are praying for pure devotional service, and we may sometimes say, I don't want wealth, I don't want, we chant na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim and all. But ultimately, when we are not chanting, when we are not praying, that time we start meditating how to earn more money and how to earn more, unknowingly, and that, or knowingly, we want more wealth. It is there, desire is there. So, but when we are praying, we are not praying to Krishna that you give me that. But still, that means because these thoughts are coming, that means that desire is still there. So, it will not be considered pure devotional service, right? That is the question. Or because the thoughts are still coming. So we have to, when we get rid of these thoughts completely, then only it will be considered pure devotional service. But at least we are trying that we are not praying to Krishna for this.
So our devotional service would be considered pure devotional service. But if we still have desires to enjoy this material world, we may be given opportunity to perform pure devotional service in the higher planetary systems. Like we may be given opportunity to perform devotional service with another Gandharvi in Gandharvaloka. And we may be given opportunity to if we have Karma Mishra desires. If we have Yoga Mishra desires, we may be given opportunity to perform pure devotional service in Siddha Lokas, where you can fly, you can just sit, you get such a powerful body. Pranayam is just useless in Siddha Loka. No one considers pranayam as something yoga paddhati as pranayam is what. So you still will be given an opportunity to go ahead in your pure devotional service, but you have to sometimes Krishna actually, how Krishna will act, it's very, very difficult to say. Sometimes Krishna provides and sometimes Krishna snatches it out to purify us. Sometimes Krishna will provide us the entrance into Siddha Loka, and which is there in this material universe only, and then one gets disgusted. Arey, I become a Siddhi in Siddha Loka, but arey, I still miss my Dasosmi family and the devotees. They were not Siddhas and all, where they are, and I really miss chanting with my wife. I really miss doing kirtan with my wife and all, and then we may miss. And oh, hell with this Siddhaloka, I am able to fly here and there, but where are the devotees with whom I can chant? Where are they? Where are they? And then we may find one or two more in Siddhaloka, or we may go and associate. Then we get rid of that desire. This is one way in which Krishna puts his pure devotees in a situation where they get an opportunity to enjoy, like Dhruva Maharaj, and then they feel disgusted. Why did I ask Krishna material desires, and what is this? Simply disgusting. How nice it was with the devotees. They were not siddhas, they are not yogis, they were having so less powers, but it was so nice discussing Krishna Katha with them. So like this he gets defeated. And another way, Krishna just snatches it by giving us so much of suffering, then we forget all other our material desires. So this is another way. So how Krishna will act personally in our life, only Krishna knows, because Krishna is our well-wisher. But these are the two ways. So Krishna may sometimes give us, if we still have desires and we are not praying, we are praying for pure devotional service, but in our heart is not completely purified, we still have desires. And if the desires are not purified till the end of our life, most probably Krishna will award us a place where we will fulfill our material desires in a very wonderful way, in a heavenly planet, as a Vidyadhara, as a Gandharva, as a Kinnara, as a Siddha, or as a Janaloka. There is a Janaloka which is very nice. There is Siddhaloka. You can go there and you can perform a pure devotional service. Or if one is really very, very purified and still he has some desires, then he may be shifted to Brahmaloka. Stay there. Along with Brahma, he can do pure devotional service. And at the end of the entire universe, matlab, Brahma is now 50 years. For next 50 years of Brahma, you will be there in Brahmaloka. And then along with Brahma, you will go to the spiritual world. And that is also a great achievement. But if one wants to, this life itself, directly enter Krishna Leela, then one has to be very, very careful of one's desires. As soon as the desire comes, one should immediately, hell, Krishna, hell, just like there is a famous verse by Yamunacharya, Sustu, Sustu, I spit, Yamunacharya would consider. That means, Prabhupada says in one place, Yamunacharya was also getting material desires because of his past, whatever he did. But as soon as that desire would come, he will spit, he will spit. And one time, one Srila Prabhupada disciple was telling, Prabhupada actually spitted on the floor. Chee! And he did tu. While speaking about Yamunacharya, he said, Yamunacharya used to do like this, tu, and he did tu. Actually he did. And so this we have to follow in the footsteps of Yamunacharya. We have to follow in the footsteps of Bilva Mangal Thakur. That they were having material desires, but they were feeling so disgusted as soon as they would see their material desires. Feel very, very disgusted. And spit at it, condemn themselves. That why? So then they will go away. Then Krishna will off. Okay? But if we think, oh, Krishna, so nice, very nice. If we think we don't get disgusted with it, then Krishna will give us. Then there's nothing wrong in it. Don't feel bad That one has a devotee who is performing devotional service, pure devotional service, or trying to perform pure devotional service in ISKCON, entered Janaloka, Tapaloka. Once pure devotional service has started, Rupa Goswami and our Guru Parampara is not Tom, Dick and Harry. They will take us back to Godhead. Only the time is separating. Once we have started pure devotional service under a bona fide Guru Parampara, so long we are not offending the Guru Parampara, so long we are not offending our Gurus, we will be finding ourselves in spiritual world. But little detour will happen, we'll go to little hell, we'll go to heaven, we'll get to Janaloka. But wherever we'll go, we'll be remembering Das Osmi family, will be remembering Gurus, will be remembering, oh so nice, and क्या मैं अभी ये गंधर्वी मेरे को बहुत परेशान कर रही है. You know, I was thinking if I have a Gandharvi, I'll be on the top of the charts. But this, you know, it's same only. In human, I had a human wife, now I am having a demigod wife. No difference only, it's the same, the level. The human wife used to trouble me and demigod wife is now troubling me. So Kriti Mata is not troubling you. But the tendency to materially enjoy and not serve, whether we are a human being or whether we are a Gandharva, whether we are a Siddha or a Jana or whatever loka we get, we may get whatever opulences we may have. So we will be frustrated. Because frustration is not because of the resources. Frustration is because I want to enjoy, I don't want to serve. So, but if one is having a human wife but wants to serve, then he will have the pleasure of having a wife like a Gandharvi. He wants to serve. He will have happiness like that. And he will go back to Godhead also. So that's. But if desires are still there at the end of life, he will go. He will go to demigod loka, definitely. What you want?
Prabhuji, like financial planning and all, is it okay? It will come under your devotional service, financial planning, or we are thinking about children and tomorrow we should save some money for them, and so we are doing some finance. We have lectures in ISKCON also doing financial planning. So is it okay? It will come under pure devotional service?
Okay, financial planning, whether it comes under pure devotional service. Oh Krishna. One thing first we have to understand before making the financial plan that, oh Krishna, you are Lakshmi Pati. You are having the finances and I am planning for your finances, your wife. Then how foolish I am, oh Krishna. I am planning about your wife, and so Krishna, please give me permission. I want to utilize your wife in service of your service only. These children are there. So it's all about our mentality. It's all about our mentality. We should really see Lakshmi as wife of Narayan. We should really see it. We should really see it. Sometimes we are very careful in spending Lakshmi. So one way is, oh, why I should spend Lakshmi? Let me keep it. Let me save it. But this is one intention. But the higher intention is, oh, this Lakshmi is actually Narayan's wife. I should be very careful. I should be very careful in handling someone's wife. Right? I should see that it is being utilized properly. Like in our Dasosmi family, even 100 rupees, you can ask Pavan Krishna, even 100 rupees is there, it is accounted for. We have such strict Excel files, systems of everything getting documented. If you have given any donation, some 3 years before, the day and everything. We can tell you what donation, in which form it came, how it got deposited, and where the donation went, and how it got, in what ways the donations are getting exhausted. Everything is documented. Not a single penny is not documented. Every Lakshmi is documented. Because we understand it's Lakshmi, it's Narayan's wife. I have to be very careful. Not that it is wrong to spend Lakshmi for, like I am going and coming from Sapurji, how I am spending. I have a car, and then the car needs petrol. Just because Sri Nitai says ISKCON's car, it doesn't run in water. It requires petrol only, and when I go to petrol pump, I have to give Lakshmi only, and I cannot say, oh, this is Sri Nitai Das, this is ISKCON's car, you just let it work in air only. It works, and we require Lakshmi. So, and I have to take medicines. It's not pure devotional service, purchasing medicines, and how the medicines are getting purchased for Sri Nitai Das is because of the donations that is coming in ISKCON. The health department, how it is getting money to purchase medicines for Sri Nitai Das is the donations that are coming. Health department is not doing a separate endeavor or doing a job or something, because they have to, how the brahmacharis are getting maintained, how the temple is getting built, how the electricity bill is getting paid with the donations what the devotees are giving. So it's not that all the donations that we are getting in ISKCON, everything is directly to Nitai Gauranga's service. Everything we are purchasing malas for Nitai Gauranga. It's not like that. We are using our donations to feed ourselves. We are using our donations to maintain our car. We are using our donations to pay the electricity bills. Right? These are not direct service to Nitai Gauranga. These we are not purchasing flowers. We are not purchasing Mahaprasad for Nitai Gauranga with all the donations. But what is the intention? The intention is to ultimately serve Nitai Gauranga. And even if we have the right intention to serve Nitai Gauranga, we document it everything. Any donor comes and says where my donation went, we can say clearly, this is where your donations we have spent. Such high-class reporting system. Like when I was account in charge, I had given Amar Kishore Prabhu the entire template. And that's how we started the online system. We initially had the offline system, and because of offlines and we could not maintain proper database, now we have such proper database, and because everything is online, and beauty of this technology is we can create such reports, how much Lakshmi we spent in cows, how much Lakshmi we spent in the deities, how much Lakshmi we spent in everything is so documented. So it's not that the donations that are coming, we are directly spending on Nitai Gauranga, but we are trying to serve Nitai Gauranga through varieties of means. The intention is to serve. So similarly, when a Grihastha is getting the Lakshmi, it's not necessarily that all the Lakshmi has to go to serve Radha Govind, Nitai Gauranga, Radha Raman. Then only it's pure devotional service. If I plan for my children, but what is the reason? Oh, I have got these children, I have to really make them devotees. So while planning, financially planning, it's not that I will just get some kurta and pajama for my children. I should also spend some money so that they become spiritually enlivened. This is first thing. And second thing is that our Lakshmi should be very, very meticulously accounted. This is a respect to Vishnu's wife. The respect to Vishnu's wife is not that all the Lakshmi is only used for Vishnu. It's not. That is not an expectation from Lakshmi ji also. Because your son, Madhav and Nimai, is also Lakshmi's son. So spending Lakshmi in service of Madhav and Nimai with an intention that, oh Mother Lakshmi, you are actually the mother. And I am just thinking that I am a father and Sukriti is the mother. You are mother and we are spending it, please. So Lakshmi will be happy, it's my children. But when we do not account for her, then we actually offend her. So that is why whatever we are grihasthas or brahmacharis in ISKCON or whatever we are maintaining accounts, we should maintain very high class accounts. We should have Excel file, how the Lakshmi is coming, how the Lakshmi is going. And more we are very, very careful in accounting the Lakshmis. It's not that we have to spend everything for Krishna. We need to account it. We should have a chart of how the Lakshmi went. That is the respect for Mother Lakshmi. So then Lakshmi is actually wife. So financial planning is very good. It's actually a respect to Mother Lakshmi, provided we maintain proper records of how the Lakshmi came this year, how I have spent it, where all avenues I have spent which is not supposed to be spent. So like that, and try to mend it next year. So, but if you just make the reason for financial planning is that I will get some planning and I should save some money for my future security, that's not the complete intention. The intention should be, this is Lakshmi. I need to really be very, very careful. Like Pavan Krishna Prabhu, I had very strict instructions that we have to be very careful. We have to document everything. Everything. ISKCON has its own documentation, but we have extra documentation beyond ISKCON, which ISKCON doesn't require. None of, if we do not maintain the Excel file that we have created, Hari Prasad Prabhu has worked hard. I have given the algorithm, how the Excel has to be maintained, and Hari Prasad Prabhu is expert in Excels. So he has created excellent Excel file. So it's not required. ISKCON is not going to question us that because ISKCON has a framework, we are following that framework, but we are doing extra because we are careful. We are dealing with someone's wife. Yes. How careful will it be? So in that way we should deal. But it's not necessary. Okay, imagine someone asks someone's wife, okay, I require some food or drinking or something. Can you prepare some breakfast for me? Is it wrong to ask someone's wife to prepare a breakfast? So just because Lakshmi is Narayan's wife, that doesn't mean that Lakshmi cannot be used for Madhav and Nimai's service. But it should be used with the right intention. Yes. And Madhav and Nimai also should understand that Kushal Bihari Das is not their protector. It's Lakshmi and Narayan, their real father and mother. And Kushal Bihari Das is just a intermediate instrument to facilitate Lakshmi and Narayan in their life. Right? Like I saw my father and mother. My father always and my mother always encouraged me to give everything, to do everything in service of Jagannath. Everything. Anything that came in my life, everything was offered to Jagannath. A pen or a book or a shirt or a... Sometimes I would even, my, what you say this, which I am wearing now, this is vest.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you say that? I don't know. It's banyan. So even that was offered to Jagannath. Sometimes I would see my father, because my two sisters, they wanted really beautiful dresses and they were very, very costly. So I used to think that I can, in my birthday, I need not purchase costly dresses. Why I require dresses? It will reduce the burden of my father. So I would purchase banyan. I would say to my father, just birthday is my birthday, you just purchase one banyan. I'm happy with a banyan. But that banyan was offered to Jagannath. I will wear that. So I had two pant shirts and all, and when that will become very tight, it will become really short. Then I will ask my father and mother to, not even my father, my mother to purchase further. But my sisters were not like that. They were like, because they were ladies, they were girls. Girls love to dress themselves. But that's what was taught by my father and mother. I always felt Jagannath is actually taking care of us. And even my father, even my mother. Because they felt like that, and that's why they trained me to feel like this. Right now also, any problem happens, I am so blissful because heart to heart I know that Jagannath is there, nothing will happen to me. So that faith, that trust has been drilled from childhood. Yes. Okay, it's really late, really late. So still, all devotees agree, then we can take some questions. Those who want to leave, they can leave. Those who want to ask, they can ask. Yes, Vijay Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandatma. So when Diti was angry with Indra killing Hiranyakashipu, and then she asked the benediction to have a son who kills. Kashyapa Muni, being a devotee of the Lord, he said he agreed, but he made sure that she does pure devotional service. So Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they are also devotees of Lord. But when Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, when they came to them, they could have also directed them in a way that they do devotional service. But why was that not happening? Is it because they were directly envious towards Lord, but here she is not envious towards Lord, but the person who instigated Lord? Is that the reason?
As I said, answer to Sumit Prabhu's question, that Diti and Hiranyakashipu cannot be compared. Diti is born of demigod origin. Diti is born out of Daksha. Diti has a primarily demigod nature, but momentarily she has got this wrong feelings like a demoniac nature. Indra has primarily demigod nature, but momentarily he gets little bit affected, goes and does something with Ahalya, goes and does something. So the primary thing has to be seen. Hiranyakashipu is primarily demoniac. And momentarily some things may happen. Like Kamsa was primarily demoniac, but momentarily when he found that Durga Devi appeared, he became very devotional. So Hiranyakashipu cannot be directed to Vishnu because he is against Vishnu. Diti is not against Vishnu. Indra is not against Vishnu. They may be against each other or maybe doing little bit of competition and all, but at least both of them were not against Vishnu. But Hiranyakashipu was not just competing, not just wanting everything. He was against Vishnu. He was against the principles of Vishnu. That was not the case of Diti and Indra. That is the reason. Hiranyakashipu was against the principles of Vishnu. He was against principle of Brahmanas. He was killing the cows. He was killing the Brahmanas. So much of terror. But Indra was not like that. And that is why whom to be directed has to be also seen. Kashyap Muni saw that how come my wife is such a nice lady who she has got like this. Now this is the second time she has got. Now I have to give her some good purification process so that this gets completely rid of her system. Like that Kashyap Muni thought. But primarily, Diti was a very saintly lady. This is really, we may read these stories, but we should not, after reading the stories, disrespect Diti, Indra. These stories are given to us to help us understand. In her entire lifetime of 71 Divya Yugas, Indra committed just a small little bit of mistake. We to every day commit mistakes like Indra. So Diti, they are very great. Indra lives for 71 Divya Yugas. It's a hell lot of time. And in that he committed 1 or 2 offenses. Little bit. Just little bit. So Indra is a great person. We should never disrespect. After reading these stories, we should have high respect. How honest they were. And how honest is Sukadev Goswami in mentioning these stories. But we should never, our heart should always respect these personalities. They are very great person. They are very dear to Krishna. Diti is very dear to Krishna. Indra is very, very dear to Krishna. Very dear to Krishna. Krishna may love us or may not love us, but Krishna loves Indra like anything. Krishna loves Diti like anything. So they are very special personalities which we are reading in Srimad Bhagavatam. We should have high respect for them. We should have desire that sometimes when I meet Indra, I will fall at his feet and catch his feet and pray that, oh Indra, no more in this material world. I just help me. Please bless me. I want to serve Krishna. I want to serve Srimati Radharani. Please bless me. And don't think Indra will not be able to bless. He will bless and his blessings will act. Don't think that, oh Indra, kya maine suna, what not I have heard from him, what not he did with Ahalya, what not he did. What blessings I will ask from him, what he will give. Never think like that. These are very special personalities. These are all some momentary lapses which are being taught to us so that we learn and be careful. Okay. Yes, Ankit Prabhu, then finally Sukriti Mataji, then we'll end.
Hare Krishna, Pranam. Thank you so much for the wonderful class with so many lessons and so many doubts got clarified in this class. I have heard this pastime multiple times, but never I had this understanding and this wonderful lesson that by intensely performing devotion service, although with wrong intentions, both Mother Diti and Indra, they got at the end of the both got purified. And the amazing lesson that in this mission of Srila Prabhupada, even if we have some ill intentions, but because this is a process of devotion service, we will get purified. So it is very faith-giving a lesson from this and wonderful connection with Madhurya Kandamani, that how Anartha Nivritti is a stage where we have to purposefully endeavor to get rid of each of the offenses. So means I just want to confirm, Prabhu, because I see in the past time also like Mother Diti and Indra are there. They're not very friendly feelings toward each other, but little bit like little envy is there. So it is like, and they're both practicing Krishna consciousness. So it is like, as I understood, like they were going through the process of Anartha Nivritti only. Because they were following the instructions of Kashyap Muni, their spiritual master, and humbly serving each other. Although there are feeling grudges inside, but still cooperating, and that was a very wonderful means. Like I understood it that way, and yeah, I think I lost what my question was.
No problem.
But yeah, it was a very wonderful and I think I lost my question.
Okay, no problem. It's good that we all want to lose ourselves in front of Krishna. Yes, Sukriti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam. Prabhuji, maybe there is small silly doubt in my mind. I am little confused. Like when we talk about aparad and sins, means which one is bigger? Like if someone is committing an aparad against a Vaishnava, or if someone killing someone, in the eyes of Krishna, what he considers as a bigger crime? Like aparad against a Vaishnava, means offending a Vaishnava or killing someone.
Okay. So If we are killing someone, then Krishna is not practically involved. We are getting some karma. The demigods, the Durga Devi, are involved. So Krishna doesn't get involved in the material world. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that udasina bhat. The activities of the material world, I am fully detached. I have made a system and it follows the system. If you kill someone, there is a system of what will happen to you. Either in this life, next life, some life, it will fructify. But when we bring devotees into picture, then it is not like that. Krishna says that sama sarvesu bhutesu. I am equal to everyone. But ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya. Those who do my devotional service, tepi tem, tesu chapyaham. I personally take care of them. They are my Nija Jan. So when they become Nija Jan, then Krishna personally takes care of the life of the devotees. So when Krishna personally takes care, that is why in the life of devotee, the act of karma doesn't work in the way that it works in the life of others. So if someone kills a devotee and if someone kills another person, both will get punished. But when someone kills a person, then demigods work in his life to punish him. When someone kills a devotee, Krishna works in his life to punish him. So sometimes it may happen Krishna may not punish also. Then that time you don't question. Like people question ki sometimes some people have done such severe sins and they come to devotional service and Krishna forgives. How can Krishna forgive? They have done such severe aparads and how can Krishna forgive? So when it comes to Krishna, Krishna is beyond logic and system. Sometimes he would punish too much beyond what demigods would have given punishment, and sometimes he may completely nullify. How? What? How come? These questions Krishna is beyond. And especially when one becomes devotees and when we are dealing with devotees, then Krishna is personally taking care. So Krishna may sometimes chastise and punish more than the demigods. Very, very severe punishment. And others may think, Arey, if this person would have been, demigods would have given punishment, he would have given accordingly. Why Krishna is becoming so angry? Like Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry on Devananda Pandit. If you see Devananda Pandit, Srivas Thakur went to hear Bhagavatam class from Devananda Pandit. And Devananda Pandit little bit offended Srivas Thakur in the sense that Srivas Thakur crying, fell down, disturbed the Bhagavatam class. Srivas Thakur's followers Devananda Pandit's followers took Srivas Thakur and threw him out of the class. That was offense. But Lord Chaitanya was very upset with Devananda Pandit. Very, very upset. Very angry. Now why? No, he didn't do any physical abuse or not bet. And Haridas Thakur prayed for the people who are beating him. The Mohammedans, the Muslim fellows who are beating Haridas Thakur, and Lord Chaitanya forgave them. And Lord Chaitanya declares that Haridas, I was about to take my chakra and kill these fellows who are beating you. But because you are praying for them, I was not killing them. I forgave them. But I was seeing you were getting so much of pain. So I came and covered your body. And you see, I have got stripes on my body because of getting the canes and whips of the Muslim fellows. And then Lord Chaitanya sewed the marks on his body. Now why would Lord Chaitanya do like this? Haridas Thakur is being bitten, Lord Chaitanya should kill. So when it comes to Krishna, he is beyond logic, he is beyond system. Sometimes Krishna may give a punishment which is disproportionate. Demigods should have given less, Krishna gave much more. And sometimes Krishna may completely forgive, which demigods would have given, appropriately given him punishment, hellish punishment for that. So when a person comes in the jurisdiction of Krishna, it is Krishna. He is the supreme autocrat in this entire universe and entire creation. But we must understand, though Krishna is supremely autocrat, he is the supremely merciful. Whatever he will do, whether he will give a disproportionate punishment, more punishment than the demigods, it will ultimately be beneficial for the living entity. The living entity will be purified and he will be delivered. And if Krishna relieves also, then also the living entity will be delivered. But it's not the case with the demigods when we go through our karmas. Demigods are least bothered. You get your karma, good karma, you go to heaven, bad karma, you go to hell. Finished. It's a system. Krishna is not system because he loves. He loves us. Yes, is that clear? So that's why offenses, how much is bigger or greater, and definitely it's bigger in the sense that Krishna is going to handle it. But the result of it can be bigger, can be lesser. One may say, "Arey, he killed a Vaishnava. He should be sent to hell millions of lifetimes. And he killed a person, he should be sent to hell. But this person killed a Vaishnava, he was not sent to hell. Krishna interfered and saved everyone." What nonsense. You cannot question Krishna. How Krishna will do, what he will do. So in that sense, greater and bigger, you cannot say. Whether if some person kills a Vaishnava, he will get a bigger punishment than someone, cannot be said. If some person troubles a Vaishnava, he is handled by Krishna. How Krishna will be handling, it is different than demigods. It can be bigger than the demigod, lesser than the demigod. That we cannot say. But for demigods, we can clearly say, it's a rule book. DPC, Demigod Penal Code. It will happen like that. But KPC doesn't exist. Krishna is supreme autocrat. He wants, he will dance with the gopis. He wants, he will lift the Govardhan. He wants, he will deliver anyone. He wants, he will kill anyone. He is the supreme. Don't become envious. As soon as we hear, we start questioning. How can Krishna? Don't question. Love Krishna. Krishna also loves you. Though he is the supreme autocrat, he only acts only for the benefit of everyone. Okay?
Okay.
Yes, Poonam Mataji, last.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvatana.
Closing words from her grace, Poonam Devi Dasi.
So, Prabhuji, it is going here and there that Prabhuji, like I read in the scriptures also, that once you are initiated, you feel Krishna prem. That is the gift your Guru gives to you.
Okay.
And where it is said that I don't know what stage, but what is in my head, I cannot imagine that Krishna is giving himself to you, totally making dependent on you. Then what is that feeling like, and how physically how it happens?
Okay, I will tell you what happens in initiation. So as you said rightly, initiation, Krishna gives you, the Guru gives you the Krishna prem. But imagine you get a big gift and it is nicely wrapped. And inside the gift, very nicely packed and very nicely wrapped and everything, inside the gift there is Krishna prem. But you need to open it, right? You need to cut it, you need to open it, you need to wrap it out, and then you will get Krishna prem. So though during initiation the Guru promises that you will get Krishna prem and he gives the gift, but the endeavor is we need to wrap it up. And sometimes we may just keep it as a gift form and not even endeavor to wrap it up. And lifetimes may go on with just the Amazon product. And inside there is Krishna prem. And we are sitting over it and looking for name, fame, material enjoyment. And we are initiated devotees. We have got Krishna prem. Where it is? In an Amazon gift. nicely packed, and we are sitting over it, and we are looking after material sense enjoyment. So this is initiation. Initiation means you get an Amazon product, but you need to endeavor to open it up. You need to wrap it out. You need to take it out, and for that endeavor is required. But sometimes we are just so obsessed that we sit, we keep it. Our Guru has given a product, keep it nicely. And then we are looking for the other products of the material world. Krishna Prem is there right away in my home only, in that product. But we are not opening it up. Yes, that is initiation. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my last question है.
Oh, is it? Yes, please.
Say, I was going through the details of the sloka 41 and 42. Okay. In one of the slokas, it is mentioned that you should not believe two people in this world. One is politician and another is woman. Politician, yes, we should not believe the politician. In another sloka, it mentioned Rishi Monu said that you should not give any independence to the woman. But see, woman means someone's wife, someone's sister, someone's mother. Okay. And both woman and man, they are contemporary each other. They are independent, not independent. They depend on each other. Okay. So if I want to have this in the family, I should give some independence to my wife. Wife should give some independence to me. So these statements, I think, are contradictory.
Wow, what a question. Okay, so this will take a lot of time to answer. I think we will answer this next class, and we will continue our discussion. What is meaning of giving independence to women, and what is meaning of not giving independence to women, and what is that? What is the exact? But to understand the context of it, we should understand that women, the nature of women are like kids. Now one may say, oh, how like kids? The women are generally very innocent. If you read in the translation in one place, Kashyapa considers, how come my wife who is generally innocent, how come she did like this so much of manipulative? So women are generally like kids. Even if they do manipulation, they're like kids only. They're innocent. And that is why they are prone to get exploited, get cheated. And that is why, just like a kid, like your son, we don't give independence. We are very careful in giving independence. So similarly, ladies are also like that. So the context is the ladies should be given care and protection just like children. Ladies, children, old men, cows, brahmanas. These 5 people should be given protection and should not be given, they are weak sections, they can get exploited. So that is why. But it's not that independence means that, wife cannot spend anything, she cannot go anywhere, not like that. Independence means there should be concern. There should be concern for protection. Just like we may send our son, like you have sent your son to some place to study, but you are very concerned and you expect that your son would ask you, take permission from you before doing anything. Why? Though it is not that you are autocratic dictator for your son, but it is just that you are concerned because you know that because he is young, he may be exploited by people, other people. So that is how the Manus and all these people, they have mentioned it, that they should not be given independence, just like a kid. And because kids can get exploited, women also can get exploited by other people. Now, as far as Viswasa Naiva Kartavya, Strisu Rajakulesu, why we should not um, trust a woman, that is mentioned in scriptures and all. Yes, because women are generally emotional. Their emotion sometimes overpower their ration. So that is why sometimes emotionally ladies may say something which they don't mean it. So that is why we should not, sometimes it is said that we should not mean. So politicians, their words are guided by their manipulative interest, and ladies, their words are guided by emotions. Sometimes ladies, when they become very bhabuk and all, they may speak anything and everything. They may shout at you, yell at you, curse you, this, but they don't mean it. They just, their nature is very, very emotional. So we should not take it very seriously. It's emotion. Sometimes people are emotional, even not just ladies, even men also. Sometimes someone becomes emotional, he shouts at you, curses you. It's just out of emotion, he said. Now for a lady, it is by nature, her nature is only like that. Most of the times he is emotional. And that is why it is said like that. But sometimes some ladies are very rational. So they may not be emotional. So it is because ladies are generally emotional. Sometimes out of emotion they may speak something. So we should not take it very seriously in that way. But it's not that all ladies are like diplomatic, like politicians. So don't make the comparison in that way. The comparison has a particular parameter. So if you change the parameter, you may offend the ladies. And also, if you think all politicians are like that, you may offend the politicians also. If you think all ladies are like that, some ladies may be manipulative. That we already discussed. Yes. Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna. The definition of Stri is that only. The definition of Stri is whose emotions are controlled by ration, whose emotions controlled ration. जिनकी भावनाएं बुद्धि को कंट्रोल करती है वो स्त्री है. स्त्री इज नॉट जस्ट सम फिगरेटिव, जिसका फिजिकल फिगर स्त्री से मैच होता है तो वो स्त्री बन जाता है. स्क्रिप्चर्स स्पीक अबाउट सटल थिंग्स. The definitions of scriptures are not always gross, they're subtle. A man also can be considered a stri if his emotions control his ration. So stri is जिसकी भावनाएं उसकी बुद्धि को कंट्रोल करती है वो है स्त्री. दिस इज डेफिनेशन ऑफ स्त्री. एंड अगर वो स्त्री के शरीर में है तो स्त्री है, पुरुष के शरीर में भी है वो स्त्री ही है, वो पुरुष नहीं है. पुरुष मतलब जिसकी बुद्धि भावनाओं को कंट्रोल करता है. सपोज टू बी. ओके. So, but generally the ladies are like that. They are very emotional. थोड़ा सा कुछ हो गया, चालू गंगा जमुना सरस्वती पूरा बहने लग जाएगा. And they started crying and making a hue and cry. And in crying also they will speak so many things. And then after everything is over, sorry मैंने इतना बोल दिया आपको, sorry माफ कर दो. That is why. और मान लीजिए कोई अगर स्त्री बोल देगी आपको रो के इधर उधर, आप विश्वास कर लेंगे, हाउ कैन यू से लाइक दिस, आई विल होल लाइफ आई विल नॉट टॉक विथ यू. अरे जस्ट फॉरगेट इट. जस्ट एन इमोशनल स्टेटमेंट इन दैट वे. Okay, you may be knowing more because you are staying with a lady for so long. Why you are asking these questions? I have seen my sisters and mothers and all. My sister would speak what not. My sister, when I joined ashram, my sister 45 minutes gave a seminar with all abusive words. All abusive words. 45 minute seminar. What nonsense you are, this, that, all abusive words, my goodness. And the same sister after some time called and I think you didn't feel offended. Be very careful of Maya. I am concerned, if you live like this, are you sure you can live without a lady? But this is a very good life. Out of emotions, I just spoke like this, and my sister only said, "Ladies are like that. Don't feel offended." And I know she is so concerned. She and her husband is so nicely taking care of my father, and that's the reason I'm sitting here. I don't have to worry anything. My father got recently some problems. They didn't inform me also. My brother-in-law took him to Bhubaneswar, got him at hospital and whatever is required, everything. And the same sister, out of her emotions and love, started speaking so much. Whenever, now also if I talk sometimes, if that emotion builds up, you left us, you this, and then, just don't believe, just out of emotion. So that is the meaning. That's how the ladies are. Okay. Hare Krishna. Dandavad. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.